Now, Split Payments is one of many emerging fintechs hoping to play an increasing role in the financial sector. It wants to build its strengths on the back of CDR as consumers have a greater say in how their data is used. Split's Kristofer Rogers joins us via Skype for his take on how it will all play out. Welcome to the show, Kristofer.
Good afternoon, Sam and Simon. How are you both?
Well, so give us your take. We're getting a whole range of views. How do you see it playing out for Split?
Oh, look, for Split, we're excited for Australia. I mean, tomorrow's not going to be, banks going on a parade down George Street announcing the heralding of a new age of open banking. But I think over time, we're going to have some really exciting financial services, not just by the likes of Volt, but really innovative payments things happening that banks are going to have to really play hard to compete with or match. So I think it's interesting. I've got party poppers. I'm ready to pop.
I'm loving the idea of the parade and banners. So is it going to be a case that sort of suddenly there's going to be the big pie that all of the small fintechs are going to be nibbling at, sort of that used to be the bank belonging to the big banks?
Yeah, look, that's a good comparison. I think ACCC will say this is leveling the playing field for competition, which arguably it is. But I think this is actually a Kodak moment for the banks. And by that, I don't mean a happy snap. By that, I mean a lot of your viewers will know the story and have studied it well, that back in '75, I think, Kodak invented the first digital camera, but they promptly did nothing with it for nearly 20 years. They consolidated their position in film. They bought chemical factories and invested in a product that became obsolete. So with your neobanks, your challenger banks, and with your fintechs like Split Payments, I think banks have got everything to lose and everything to win. And that's the really exciting thing for us that's going to unfold over the coming years, I'm afraid. Not days, not weeks. They don't move as fast as us, Simon.
Now, Kristofer, what kind of innovation do you think we need to see from the big banks to make them stay relevant?
Yeah, they have to move faster. I mean, when Simon and I last spoke, we discussed the speed at which banks are able to move. They have legacy technology that they have to grapple with, but they have a lead position, Sam, in that they are the custodians of our transactional data and have been for generations, and they can really play on that. I think payments is moving towards platformication. We're managing our finances through applications increasingly. So if banks aren't part of those ecosystems and readily open up to being part of those ecosystems, then they have everything to lose. What they have to play for is retaining customers. We have the control. So how can a bank be more competitive? And ultimately, Sam, it will come down to being a better product, better pricing, better delivery, and better financial and social outcomes for the consumer.
Do you think that consumers are going to be engaged with the whole CDR process? I mean, we all have been guilty of paying a lazy tax, staying with an institution for too long, charging us too much. This sort of seems to require a fair bit of energy on our part to take control of our finances.
It does to an extent, but remember, for millennia, we've been able to print, well, no, that's not accurate because we didn't have printers for millennia, but we can take our statements in to a broker and negotiate a better deal. This is about real-time data crunching. This is about turning decisions around promptly. So it's not a big ask on a consumer when a consumer has an upside. We were in an ACCC meeting last week with companies going through the accredited data recipient process. There were at least 80 people in the room. A lot of those people, virtual room, were speaking to energy and telecoms and the wider CDR sectors to come after open banking. And we've relied on comparison markets for several years to just do price comparisons. What's the best prepaid that Optus can offer us? With open data and with consumer data rights, that's going to be flipped where we can use our actual energy data to get a better solar deal. Now that would make me spend the 2 minutes it takes to actually connect and share my data with someone I trust.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you on that front. I can see the parade from the energy sector and the telcos already on that one. Before we wrap on this one, just give us an idea of where you see the dangers potentially in CDR.
I think it was Andrew that made the point, or another guest on the program earlier, is that the pitfalls are going to be the buzzwords: cybersecurity, data protection, being able to actually control our data. But I'm fairly confident in the world of, different access, password management, cloud technologies, that we won't fall into that. The dangers is going to be ACCC's moderation on this, especially as it branches out to wider things. Can cowboys come into play, or can we toe the line where we can, genuine companies like Split Payments can deliver value proposition to consumers?
Mate, always fascinating insights. Really appreciate you having you on the show. Continue doing the great work you do with Split Payments, and hope to talk with you again soon. Thanks, Kristofer.
Thanks so much, guys. Take care.